In the spring of 2025, under the blazing Italian sun, an archaeology student's brush hit something that would rewrite our understanding of Roman commerce. Gold. Imperial gold. But these weren't ordinary coins that someone dropped while buying bread at the market. These were gifts from emperors. Rare medallions that powerful men received as tokens of imperial favor. And someone important enough to receive 3 of them from 3 different rulers simply lost them all beneath the marketplace floor. But here's the real mystery. Why were they never recovered? What happened to their owner? Today, I'm taking you inside one of 2025's most extraordinary archaeological discoveries, the golden secret of Aquileia, a city that once rivaled Rome itself. Aquileia. The name might not ring bells today, but in the 4th century, this was one of the most important cities in the entire Roman Empire. Located in northeastern Italy, near the modern border with Slovenia, Aquileia was a crucial commercial hub, a military stronghold, and a gateway between Rome and the East. Picture this. Bustling markets, ships arriving from across the Mediterranean, warehouses packed with wine, olive oil, grain, and exotic goods from Egypt, Greece, and beyond. This was a city where fortunes were made and lost, where emperors dispatched officials, and where the wealth of an empire flowed through, like the rivers that fill its ports. The University of Verona assembled their team and focused on a site called Fondo ex Pasqualis, the southeastern edge of ancient Aquileia, an area whose function was completely unknown. In just 3 months, they excavated over 8,600 square feet of virgin archaeological territory. Every stone, every layer of soil, untouched since the Roman Empire collapsed. Imagine you're on your knees beneath the Mediterranean sun, carefully brushing away centuries of sediment beneath the portico floor. You've been here for weeks, finding pottery shards, building materials, the usual suspects. Then your brush hits metal, gold metal. The first solidus emerges from the earth, then the second, then the third. These weren't copper pennies dropped by a careless laborer. These were gold solidi, the most prestigious denomination in the late Roman monetary system. Each coin represented serious wealth. A single solidus could buy enough grain to feed a family for months. But here's what made archaeologists' hearts race. These 3 coins were minted by 3 different emperors in 3 different periods, all found together in the same location beneath a marketplace floor. Let's meet the emperors whose faces graced these golden medallions. First, Valens, who ruled from 364 to 378 AD. He governed the Eastern Roman Empire from Constantinople. His reign ended in catastrophe at the Battle of Adrianople, one of Rome's worst military disasters, where Gothic warriors annihilated his legions. Valens himself died in the battle, possibly burned alive in a farmhouse where he'd taken refuge. His solidus represents the empire at the height of its power, before everything began to unravel. Second, Magnus Maximus, 383 to 388 AD. This one's fascinating. Maximus was a usurper, a Roman general in Britain who declared himself emperor and actually held power for 5 years. He controlled Britain, Gaul, and Spain before the legitimate emperor Theodosius defeated and executed him. That his coin was minted in Constantinople tells us this usurper had either diplomatic recognition or military success impressive enough to reach the imperial mints. Third, Arcadius, 383 to 408 AD. Son of Theodosius the Great, Arcadius became emperor at just 17 years old. He ruled the Eastern Roman Empire during its permanent separation from the West. the beginning of what we now call the Byzantine Empire, though they still considered themselves Romans. His coin represents a bridge between the classical Roman world and the medieval Byzantine civilization that would survive for another 1,000 years. All three coins minted in Constantinople, the magnificent city on the Bosporus that Constantine had established as the new Rome. Here's what makes this discovery extraordinary. These weren't circulation currency. The rarity, the pristine condition, the archaeological context, everything pointed to these being imperial medallions. In the late Roman Empire, emperors would commission special gold pieces to gift to high-ranking officials, military commanders, or wealthy merchants who'd provided exceptional service to the state. Think of them as the ancient equivalent of presidential medals or knighthoods, except made of actual solid gold and bearing the emperor's personal portrait. Receiving one of these meant you had direct imperial favor. It meant access to power, influence in the highest circles, connections that could transform your family's fortune for generations. So, who dropped or hid these three medallions under a portico floor in Aquileia? Perhaps a wealthy merchant who'd successfully served three different imperial administrations across decades of political chaos. Maybe a government official stationed in this crucial border city who navigated the treacherous politics of usurpers and legitimate emperors. Or were they deliberately hidden during one of the many crises that racked the 4th and 5th centuries, barbarian invasions, civil wars, or economic collapse? We'll never know their name, but the coins tell us someone of extraordinary importance walked these streets. 3 gold coins, 3 emperors, 1 forgotten marketplace. Someone walked these streets with connections spanning decades and emperors. They witnessed the transformation of the Roman world, from Valens' catastrophic defeat to a usurper's brief glory to the birth of Byzantium. And then, for reasons lost to time, those precious tokens of imperial power ended up beneath the floor, sealed away for 17 centuries, waiting to tell us their story about wealth, power, crisis, and the twilight of Rome. If you enjoyed this archaeological mystery, hit like and subscribe. Drop a comment. What do you think happened to the owner of these 3 imperial medallions? Thanks for digging into history with me.